So I was a painter, and then I found, almost immediately, I found the sculpture studio and went three-dimensional. Yeah, I'm not a scholar. I'm certainly not a scholar, but you look at picture books. Don't bother with the reading and writing part, but the picture books are really good. My information is all visual. I'm really a visual guy. I can't explain it. I can maybe appreciate it and do it, but I can't explain why somebody did something. How can you explain Rousseau's Sleeping Gypsy? I mean, you got to be whacked to do that. Serrano peppers, lemons, roses, maples, oregano, tomatoes. Oh, here it is, here. Right here. Here's another hummingbird nest. Look at that. When I look through these, I like the wood turners a lot. I mean, I like the guys. I'm not, I think the problem is what they've decided to do, the turners, is to get as tricky as possible. These guys do some amazing things, but not very many have an art background. And so, they'll put color where it doesn't work, or a color that really doesn't work. And I'm just going through this, and so they're very traditional. When the heyday of furniture, that I very fortunately just dropped into, at the time, I said, I'm going to make, I was an artist, painter, sculptor. I said, I'm going to make furniture. And I had no idea why, but I just thought I would make furniture. And I hit it just at the right time, the late 60s, the early 70s for me, up until the mid 90s. I mean, I'd have a show in New York or Boston or Philadelphia, sell out. I mean, it was, you really got full of yourself. You thought, hey man, my shit doesn't stink, And the prices were good, the galleries were happy, and the buyers. And what's happened now, what's happened now, I can't be sure, but you've got all these tech people, and they don't care. There's no more art education being done in the schools, or very little of it. So the design world is really taking over. It's not this woody stuff. It's quite beautiful. It's nice to live with, but it's not what's being bought now. That's not now. Again, it's the galleries and the interest. Back to the design stuff. People are more interested in that. I think because they see it as something new, whereas wood furniture is something old, but there's a lot of people out there that still want it. This table here and this black one back here, I made them and put them out on the deck. They were out there for years. And they got all weathered and everything, and then one day I said, well, look, these will look good in bronze. So right now, these two tables are being cast in bronze. I blackened them so they were uniform, but they'll be cast in bronze. Lamps, I've made, I don't know, I could guess over 500 lamps in my career. For some reason, I got stuck on lamps. As you can see, there's a lot of lamps around. I like the idea of, this is a shipping crate, but the clock is built right into the shipping crate. This is it. It's rosewood, and it's never to come out. There's the thing for it. So if you send it somewhere, you just screw the front on, and away you go. You don't even have to build a crate for it. It's already done. I did a show in New York called Twirlings, and I had all my Turner friends send me their throwaways and stuff, and then I reworked them. So this is one of them. I had a show and I had about 100 pieces in it at Leo Kaplan in New York. and it went very well. And then this was a hemisphere, a perfect hemisphere at one time. And I wrapped latex tubing around it and steamed it to close like that, and then painted it. And it's one of my favorite pieces. I never imagined I was going to be a furniture maker. I was going to be a sculptor, and then I decided probably a painter. I did some good paintings, I think, but good classical design educations, you know, design elements, you know, and painting corner points, and you know, and color and all that. So that really helped. And then when I decided to make furniture, I could just, you know, start using these ideas from art, and it was no big deal. And what I was doing, some of the stuff people were looking at, what the hell is he doing? When I first started out, I did some commissions. My commissions, you didn't have to put any money down, and if you didn't like it, you didn't have to take it. That worked out perfectly. I'd say about 3/4 of the people took it. But then I got a piece that I built for myself. Sometimes when I was making furniture, that a piece of wood, oh man, this would be really good this way. I start with an idea, whatever that idea is, and I just make it. I use a lot of glue, I use a lot of fasteners. They have to be comfortable, they have to be strong or well made, they have to be aesthetically pleasing. And I think I made 127 chairs in a little over a year. I was having them professionally photographed by a photographer, Lee Fothery, who does the very best work in the Bay Area here. And I had all the chairs. When I'm working on this chair here, I'm thinking of the next chair. And if I've got to wait for glue to dry here on this chair, I start the next chair. And sometimes I would have 3 chairs going. Same as I've done a series of benches and tables and lamps. So I work in series, and one thing leads to the next. Oh, that's not quite right, man, but I can make it better in the next chair, you know? So I don't know what you say. It's just, the ideas come. At night, when I'm going to sleep, I don't count sheep. I think about tomorrow, what I'm going to, you know, what it's going to look like. And one of the things that occupies a lot of my brain, whatever's left, is color. It is so difficult. When you start applying color to wood or to metal, you're making a really big statement, you know? Most of my work comes apart because, again, no drawing, so I have to be able to change something midstream, position of a leg or something. So I've developed some pretty unique fastenings that are totally engineered, you know, totally acceptable, stronger than a wood joint. So it allows me the freedom to take something off and put something else on it. And then when it comes to finishing, then I'm working with a bunch of small pieces that make a big whole, and I can just deal with them easier. If I see one that needs to be colored, instead of having to worry about getting dye on a nicely finished piece of wood, I just take the leg off and color it. My problem is the shakes. You know, it's really shaky. It's a drag. I'm tired of it. But what I want to do, what I feel I can do, is start painting again. But I can't, you know, because of these shakes. So, I don't know, you know. Unfortunately, I'm not excited about anything. That's a drag. That's really a pain in the ass. Because I have never, ever, when I gave a lot of talks around the country and some overseas, and I used to say, and it was absolutely true, ideas, I'm not worried about ideas, I'm just worried about the time to get it made. Because, you know, I mean, like I said, one thing leads to another. So I don't know what'll make me excited again. Maybe win the lottery, get out of debt. That'd excite me. Shakes. Ah, it's all right. This stuff is pretty. If that were gouache, I'd be in trouble right now. If I'm doing something that I need really intense color, I will use artist oil paints. Cerulean blue is not